සම්පූරිතා පමිත පාරමිතා බලේන විද්වන්සියෝ කිල කිලේස සමෝහජාලං තේනේව ලන්ද අරහං අරහෝති නාමං වන්දාමි බුද්ධ මමලං හදයේටපෙත්වා නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the supremely enlightened one. දිට්ඨිංච අනුපගම්ම සීලවත් දස්සනේන සම්පන්නෝ කාමේසු විනය්‍යගේදං නහි ජාතු ගබ්බසෙයං පුනරේතිති. Most Venerable Mahasangha, nuns, friends in the Dhamma, today we have come to the end of our monastic retreat, our final day. In this discussion, we hope to discuss one of the most important discourses in Buddhism, Metta Sutta or Karaniyametta Sutta or Karaniyametta Sutta. Some monks pronounce or name this sutta in various ways. Metta Sutta, Karaniyametta Sutta and Karaniyametta Sutta. However, this discourse is same in fashion. This discourse, which is mostly used by Buddhism, mostly chanted, but sometimes we are confused that they mostly understand or practice it. However, this is the Buddhist path, and in one side, this is a blessing chanting, protective blessing chanting, and also it explains the Buddhist meditation path. And also this discourse explains Buddhist ethics. And also this discourse, Metta Sutta, explains the meditation pattern we can use as a meditation object. In various ways, we can see the importance of this discourse. Finally, we can say this is the Buddhist anthem. This is the Buddhist anthem. We can always reflect on that, whether we are on the path of liberation when we contemplate on this discourse, Metta Sutta. As you know, this discourse is explained for some monks who went to the jungle for meditation and they had some problems from unhuman beings. For that, Buddha explained this discourse to those monks as a protective blessing discourse. Those monks learned this discourse near the Buddha and they went to the jungle and chanting and practicing this discourse, they could overcome those problems and also finally they can completely overcome their sansaric problem too. As we know, tanhaya jayati bayang, tanhaya jayati soko. Tanhaya vipamuttassa nati soko kuto bayang. Fear arises because of craving. But in the mundane level, fear arises in many causes. Buddha explained this discourse for getting rid of some fears of unhuman beings, and finally, using this discourse and doctrines, those monks could attain enlightenment too. That is very important. When we discuss this discourse, firstly we should take the last stanza. Dittincha anupagamma silava dassanena sampanno kame suvineyya gedang nahi jatu gabbaseyang punareti. We mostly listening to the first stanzas. Unfortunately, speakers have no enough time to explain the last stanza. Then they end their sermons without explaining the last stanza or verse. Here we are going to take it first. Dittincha anupagamma silava means there we can see the very first thing that we should develop vision. Dittincha anupagamma silava explains the wisdom in Buddhism. And vision is first. What are the views, wrong views that we have? We have made two views, such as Sassatavada or eternalism and Uchedavada, nihilism. Buddha says, if a person can see the reality of our life, such as the nature of our five aggregates, if a person sees the arising of five aggregates, he doesn't go to the extreme of nihilism or Uchedavada. And also, if he can see the cessation of five aggregates, he doesn't go to the extreme of eternalism or Sassatavada. These two views, Sassatavada, eternalism, and Uchedavada, nihilism, should be overcome by one vision, which is the Paticca Samuppada theory, Arya Nyaya, the dependent origination. And that vision is very important. If a person has that vision, his inner courage gradually increases to go forward on this path. As the result of having this understanding, a person can see how suffering arises and how suffering ceases. Whenever we are ignorant, our mind is fixed in outside material world. It means outside world controls us. It means our happiness depends on outside. Anytime it can be changed. But if we can take our happiness in our hand, that is the real liberation, freedom, emancipation that Blessed One explained. And with this understanding, if a person has an intention to attain the liberation, he follows this path. Karaniyametta kusalena yantan santam padang abhisamecha. He who wishes to attain the peace of mind should practice these qualities which come in Metta Sutta. The very first stanza explains the intention or goal that we have in this discourse. Here there is a very special word, Santa. Santa is mostly used for liberation, emancipation, or Nibbana. Yantan Santam Padang Avisamecha. Santa means our final liberation, the everlasting happiness. If a person has this intention, he should develop some qualities. All the qualities should practice in some theories, in some qualities. What is that? Viveka nisitang, viraga nisitang, nirodha nisitang, vasagga parinami. These words are very, very important. When Buddha explains some doctrines for liberation, mostly we can see these characteristics. Viveka nisitam, viraga nisitam, nirodha nisitam, vasagga parinami. It means it focuses on arising and ceasing and liberation. That is very important. Having this understanding, we have to practice some qualities. Actually, if we have correct vision for the liberation, we mostly come to these qualities. According to my opinion, actually these qualities cannot be practiced. These qualities are practiced automatically when we come to the vision and skillfulness. Sakko. The very first one is skillfulness. Sometimes some speakers explain this quality. We should be skillful in cooking or sewing clothes, doing some things. But here we should understand this skill focuses on our liberation. Even though we cook very well, we can attain enlightenment. That is another quality. Here skillfulness is that skillfulness in senses, ayatana kusalata, or skillfulness in mindfulness. That is the quality, that is the skill. And honesty and upright. Ujucha sujucha. Honesty is emphasized here 2 times. We should be honest. We should be very honest. That is very important. First, we should tell truth. And also, I think that secondly, we should be very honest that no matter whatever we do, before we do something, we should think again and again, when I do these things, whether my craving, self-view, conceit, trusna drustimana, increase or decrease. This is the measurement. This is the place where we should be honest. No matter whatever do, even we wear a cloth or robe, even we study for a degree, no matter whatever do, we should think again and again, when I do these activities, when I perform these meritorious activities, when I conduct these wholesome activities, whether my craving, self-view or sakkaya ditthi and conceit, mana, increase or decrease. We can check whether we are in the correct path. That is the place where we should be honest. That is honesty. And also, Suvacho chassa muduvanitimani. Suvacha is one of the main qualities. All of us have that quality. That is why we are paying our attention to the Dhamma. Suvacha means gently spoken, active listening. We should be gently spoken. It doesn't mean that we should follow what we hear. First of all, we should be gently spoken. We should pay our attention. Suvacha and obedience are different. Suvacha means active listening. Kinkara or kikaru means obedience. Obedience is not a quality according to Buddhism. Be careful. Obedience means whatever something others say, we are ready to do it without any searching. That is obedience. But active listening means when someone says something, we pay our attention with wise consideration. Yoniso Manasikara. That is a quality in everywhere. But obedience is not a quality somewhere. You know, Angulimala was a very obedient student. What did he do? He killed hundreds of people because of that obedience. Therefore, obedience is not a real quality. But suvacha, or active listening, is a quality everywhere. And the next one, mudu, gentle. We have a very, very gentle heart. And anatimani, not conceited, or being humble. And santusakocha, being satisfied or being contented. Subhara, easy to support. Appakicho, being less busy. Sallahokavutti, being simple. Santindriyocha, discipline in senses. Nipaka, discretion or wisdom. Appagabbo, not stubborn. Kulesu ananugiddo, less attachment to families. These are the main qualities, and also finally all of them are summarized into one sentence. Nacha khuddam samachare kinchi yena vinyu pareupadeyum. We should not commit any slight wrong conduct which is concerned by the wise. That is very important. For that, we have to associate Karaniyametta again and again. Especially when we associate some monks and other people, no matter whether they are elder or younger, when we are some other monks, we can understand our mistakes, our own things. That is very important. We can invite others, please tell me if I have some wrong things in my life. Then we can develop our good qualities, and also we can overcome our bad activities too. That is very important. Here, when we see this discourse, these first stanzas explain the very first step of Buddhist path, the foundation of Buddhist path, that sila or virtue. Here there are some qualities we can see. These are the highest qualities that we can see in psychology, counseling, and social sciences. But here we can see no generosity, no virtue, no gratitude. Why is that? Actually, they are the primary qualities in the mundane level. Now, already we practice those qualities. When we come to this level, we have fulfilled our heavenly path. We come to this discourse of our deliverance path. Even though you don't practice these qualities, it is not a disturb to go to a blissful life. That is very important. But without practicing or following these qualities, we are unable to enter the deliverance path. That is very important. When we come to this level, we are sure that we never fall into hell. We have practiced generosity, 5 precepts, gratitude. Those are the qualities are already practiced when we come to this vision or understanding samadhi, right view. And also here, all the precepts that we have proclaimed to the disciples can be seen in this one sentence that nacha khuddam samachare kinchi yena vinyo pariupadeyo. All the sealers are here. All the precepts are here. That is very important. And another place we can see Anumattesu Vajjesu Bhayadasavi. We see the fear of doing any slight wrong conduct as the result of knowing this pattern. Why is that? Are we afraid of other people? No. We like our spiritual development. We give the priority to develop our mind. That is our highest spiritual goal. We don't disturb our spiritual goal. We protect it like a mom protects her only son. We don't give any persons to disturb this spiritual goal. That is why we are very careful. That is why we don't do any slight wrong conduct. We have given the priority to our spiritual development. We respect our spiritual goal. That is why we have this kind of discipline in our life. After having this vision in Buddhism, we are confident in this vision, and also we always do everything giving the priority to this spiritual goal. That is why we practice these qualities, especially the final one, Nachakuddam samachare kinchi yena vinyo pariupadeyo. If we want to attain the peace of mind, these are the qualities. If you don't need the liberation, you should not have to practice these qualities. By practicing generosity, 5 precepts, you can go to a blissful life. That is enough. If we want to attain the Nibbana, these are the qualities we have to develop. Having this discipline, we come to the next level. What is that? Practicing loving kindness meditation. Loving kindness meditation or Metta Bhavana is highly praised, recommended, and appreciated in Buddhist path. It is useful in various ways. It can be applied for many places, especially for stress management. We have to practice loving kindness meditation. Most of problem in this society arise because of anger. If we can overcome anger, be sure we can overcome more than 50% stress from our mind. Susukang mata jivama verinesu averino verinesu manusyesu viharama verino. Let's live happily without anger among the people, those who are angry. That is one of our wishes. We like to live happily without anger. And for that, Buddha says, he who wishes to attain the peace of mind should practice loving kindness meditation again and again, contemplating on thus, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. The duration of practicing loving kindness meditation decides your spiritual happiness, your peace of mind, your mental health. That is why a lot of psychiatrists recommend to practice metta bhavana or loving kindness meditation to their clients. In the psychology field, we can see two techniques. One of them is loving kindness meditation or metta bhavana. The other one is mindfulness. But fortunately, the Buddha has explained these two techniques before 2600 years. And however, this discourse explains the way how we develop metta bhavana to the maximum level. What is the highest attitude of practicing loving kindness meditation? Matayathaniyam puttam. If a mom loves her only son like her own life, like that, we also develop this loving kindness thoughts to the maximum level. As soon as we meet a person, when we associate a person, we should have this intention, attitude. That is one of the signs that we are on the path of liberation. Until we come to this level of metta thoughts, we are not ready to enter the Buddhist path, the deliverance path. When we take a decision, when we do some activities, always we should think again and again. Always we should think this attitude again and again. That is very important. If we have this attitude, intention, it means we are mentally held. That is very important. This metta thoughts should be developed in all the levels of beings. Weak, strong, long, big, medium, short, small, large, visible, invisible, dwelling far, near, those who are born, those who are wishing to be born, all persons are here. Actually, when we refer this discourse, this is very important. Not only who are born, but who are wishing to be born, all beings are focused on here. Who are the beings who are wishing to be born? Who are in the mother's wombs, who are in eggs, they are the beings who are wishing to have a birth. We contemplate on them too in this meditation. Having these thoughts, we can practice with this path. The middle, it explains the samatha. The first thing is Adi Kalyanam, Dhamma, which is excellent in beginning. The beginning is the sila or virtue. Its middle is excellent. What is the middle? Middle is Samadhi, Samatha. Not only loving kindness meditation, but there are 40 meditation techniques that we can see for concentration explained in Buddhism. However, the purpose of practicing concentration meditation is to reduce 5 hindrances. 5 hindrances disturb our peace of mind, such as sensual pleasure, ill will. Those are the negativities that disturb our peace of mind. By practicing samatha bhavana, concentration meditation, we reduce these negative thoughts from our mind for our inner peace. Especially loving kindness meditation, we can see many places. Here we should understand metta and mitta. Sometimes we may think that both of them are same. Actually, there is a slight difference. Buddhism explains mittanisansa and mettanisansa as well. Mittanisansa and mettanisansa. Mitta means friendliness. Metta means mrudu, gentle. Friendliness, we focus on some particular person or persons. It is limited. But metta is so wide. It is appamanya. We spread loving kindness thoughts without boundaries. That is very wide. Mittanisansa is a little, but mettanisansa, manussanam piyo hoti, amanussanam piyo hoti, devata rakhanti, its results are so wide. But mittanisansa, the results of friendliness, deal with limited places. Here we should understand metta and mitta. Buddhism explains both mittanisansa, the results of friendliness, and mettanisansa, the results of metta or loving kindness. And however, metta is a samatha meditation technique. According to Metta Chetumritti Sutta, practicing loving kindness is the highest meritorious act in the mundane level. We can perform 3 meritorious deeds: generosity, 5 precepts, and bhavana or loving kindness meditation. Dhanancha samacharyancha metta chittancha bhave. Generosity, 5 precepts, and loving kindness meditation. We can practice generosity in many ways. Amisadana, material givings, abhedana, giving fearlessness, and dhammadana, gift of Dhamma. We can practice generosity in various ways. And also, the next step that we practice 5 precepts of virtue, samacharya. Finally, in the mundane level, we practice bhavana or metta chitta. That is the highest meritorious act we can practice, we can perform in the mundane level. Why it is more beneficial? Why is it very valuable? The reason is that, when we practice loving kindness thoughts, when we practice metta thoughts, automatically we practice generosity and discipline too. When we think other people like our own children, are we greedy? No, we have generous heart. If we have this kind of intentions, we are always ready to offer something to others. We don't need to emphasize the importance of generosity or dana. And if we see the world like our own children, can we overcome 5 precepts? Can we kill beings, stealing, sexual misconduct? We can do them. Automatically we fulfill sila too. Are we conceited when we practice loving kindness meditation? No, we have no lobha, greed, no dvesa, no anger, no jealousy, no conceit. We have no these kind of defilements at that moment. whenever we practice metta thoughts. That is why practicing loving kindness meditation is highly appreciated, recommended in Buddhism to generate our positive thoughts. According to Metta Ketumati Sutta, if we do all the meritorious deeds in this world, if we keep everything in one side, if we practice loving kindness meditation in other side, actually that loving kindness meditation is more valuable, more beneficial. That sutta clearly explains the importance of practicing metta thoughts. Having this understanding, when we go to the last stanza, dittincha anupagamma silava dassanena sampanno. Having the vision, not falling into extremes as nihilism and eternalism, we find the path, the Noble Eightfold Path, or the three trainings: virtue, concentration, and wisdom. Having discipline in our speech and behavior, we practice concentration, and also we reflect on the impermanence of five aggregates. Our entire life is that five aggregates: form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. These five things every moment arise and cease. Every moment we can see the impermanence of those five aggregates. When we reflect on this reality, we release from the outside, and also at the same time we release from our inside our mind consciousness too. We can see impermanence everywhere. And gradually our inner peace increases because of reducing negativities, defilements, lobha, craving, dosa, ill will or anger, moha, ignorance or delusion. As the result of reducing these negativities, we can see the results of the Dhamma. Swakahato Bhagavata Dhammo. Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One. Sanditiko visible results. Akaliko immediately effective. Ehipasiko calling one to come and see. Opanaiko leading onwards. And Pachatang Veditabbo to be personally realized by the wise. These are the qualities that we can see when we practice Dhamma. The more we have this vision, the more we practice Dhamma. The more we practice Dhamma, the more we reduce our negativities. At the same time, we develop our happiness. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone who was born in this world. As a result of this practice, we live happily. Susukang vata jivama verinesu averino, verinesu manussesu viharam averino. Let's live happily without anger among the people, those who are angry. Susukang vata jivama usukesu anusuka, usukesu manussesu viharama anusuka. Let's live happily among the people, those who are seeking sensual pleasure. We live happily. Susukang vata jivama aturesu anatura, aturesu manussesu viharama anatura. Let's live happily without mental illnesses among those who are mentally ill. Anger, jealousy, conceit, ignorance, they are the mental illnesses. By practicing Dhamma, we reduce these mental illnesses from our mind. As the result of this path, we are like lotus flowers. We spend a Padmopakara Jivita. It means we live like a lotus flower. Lotus flowers origin in mud and they come over mud and water. They blooms with good smell and beauty. Like that, we also live in the ordinary society who have defilements without those negativities like a lotus. This is the way how we live as the result of practicing Dhamma. In this discourse, we can see the information that Buddha has explained what we have to practice on the path of liberation. The very first thing is practicing Sila or virtue. We practice these 15 qualities. Those 15 qualities can be summarized into 3. What they are: Suvacha, Ujocha, and Nipaka. Among those 15 qualities, these 3 are very important. What they are: Ujocha, Suvacha, and Nipaka. Uju means honesty, Suvacha means gently spoken, and Nipaka. That is why when Buddha started to deliver Dhamma to the world, Buddha says, Etu vinyo puriso asato amayavi na vankajato. Buddha invite the people, come to listening to Dhamma who is honest and wise. All these qualities can be seen there. Vinyo purisa, nipaka or wisdom. Etu vinyo purisa, sunata Dhamma, suvacha. And also, Etu vinyo puriso asato amayavi na vankajato. Na vanka means honesty. We should be honest. Even though there are 15 qualities here, we can summarize those qualities in these 3 qualities: gently spoken, wisdom, and honesty. Having this path, practicing this path, we can see the progress of our spiritual life. How do we see our progress? We can say, day by day, I reduce my anger. I reduce my craving. I reduce my conceit. I reduce my delusion. We can see very clearly list of the persons of that I get angry gradually reduces. If that list gradually increases, it means still there is a problem. If we get angry with people immediately, suddenly, and everywhere there are people who are angry with us, it means we have to practice this Dhamma again and again. Especially, we have to practice loving kindness meditation. And also, if you always worry with something outside, it means we depend on outside. If we are seeking our happiness from outside, it means still we have the problem. We depend on outside. We have no real mindfulness. That is why we seek happiness from outside world. We should create our happiness within us by practicing Dhamma. That is why Buddha says, Dhamma deepa bhikkhave viharata Dhamma sarana na anya sarana. Dwell with the Dhamma as an island, as a refuge, no with other refuge. How do we make a refuge within us? Practicing mindfulness. All the doctrines that the Blessed One explained for 45 years can be summarized into 2 qualities. One of them is metta thoughts, the other one is mindfulness. As the result of practicing loving kindness meditation, we develop four sublime states: metta, karuna, mudita, upekha. Loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. These are the things that Brahmas are living with. Buddhism has pointed out the way how we make a Brahma realm in this immediate human realm. We can make a Brahma realm in this life. Physically, we are in the human realm, but mentally, we are in the Brahma realm. We are so happy because of practicing this path. On the other side, practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness can be divided into three: mindfulness, mindfulness meditation, and the path that leads to mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness belongs to the conventional truth with concentration meditation. And mindfulness meditation belongs to the insight meditation. Depends on absolute truth. The path that leads to mindfulness meditation means the Noble Eightfold Path. As a result of practicing this path, if we can develop our wisdom and other spiritual faculties to the maximum level, we are able to reduce all the defilements completely in this immediate life itself. If not, we can attain the anagami or not returning, and we can be reborn in the Brahma realm. That is why it says, Nahi jatu gabbaseyang punareti. We never come to a mother's womb. It means we eradicated all the defilements in this life and attain enlightenment in this life itself, or we will be reborn in the Brahma realm as a person who attained anagami. There we have no mother's womb. We appear without a mom. We appear in the Brahma realm without a mom. And this is the Buddhist path, and also day by day we should check whether those qualities that I have. There are 15 qualities in the first stanzas, and in the middle we can see practicing metta thoughts. What is the highest example or attitude of practicing loving kindness thoughts? When we see a person, when we hear a person, when we think a person, we should check that whether I can consider this person like my only son or daughter. With this intention, we can understand how much I develop loving kindness meditation. It means we can see our mental health. We are mentally healthy. Not only we have metta thoughts, but we have compassion. We always explain the path to others to go to heaven and the deliverance. And also we have sympathetic joy. When other people succeed, we are happy. We think their success as our success. And sometimes we can control something in the world because of karmic results. Then we become the equanimity, upekha. Even though we practice metta thoughts, even though we pay our compassion to others, even though we have sympathetic joy, sometimes we can control some world things. That is the eternal truth. Then we become silent, we are neutral, we become equanimity. At the same time, we practice mindfulness and also we come to the sankhara upekha too. when we see the arising and ceasing of five aggregates, senses, external objects, nama-rupa, we automatically come to the upekha. That upekha consists with wisdom. The primary level upekha consists with ignorance, but the highest level upekha in Buddhism, sankhara upekha jnana, consists with wisdom. Because we attain that equanimity by practicing Dhamma with this correct vision, Sammaditthi, without falling into extremes as eternalism or nihilism. And now we have come to the conclusion in this discourse, Metta Sutta. This same discourse can be seen in two places in Tripitaka, in Khuddaka Nikaya, Khuddaka Pata, and also Khuddaka Nikaya, Sutta Nipata too. There are two places that we can see in this same discourse in Buddhism. Therefore, this is a very important discourse. However, in our day-to-day life, we mostly recite this discourse, but we take only few things from this discourse. This is the entire path for deliverance. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. The first stanzas explain the Sila, the beginning of the path. The middle stanzas explain the middle of the Dhamma concentration. The last stanza explains the Panya, or the end of the path. These three things should be together with wisdom. When we practice Sila, Sila should be consisted with Panya. And also Panya also with Sila. And also Samadhi focuses on Panya. That is why Samahito bhikkhave bhikkhu yatha bhutam pajanati. He who gains concentration reflect on the world reality as it is. Venerable says, nuns, friends in the Dhamma, today our last day of the monastic retreat. Here we discuss most important discourse in Buddhism, Karaniyametta Sutta or Metta Sutta. By listening to this discourse and by contemplating on the facts of this discourse, we generate our positive thoughts. Finally, we have to do only thin, which is that reflecting on impermanence. Our entire life is the present moment. It means the present thought. That present thought didn't come to the present from the past. This present thought will not go to future from the present. It arises and ceases at the moment. Present thoughts means our consciousness or mind plus mental formations and mind consciousness. When we contemplate on this reality or mind objects, the physical world has already ceased. At the same time, if we can see the world as an empty village, we have nothing to spread loving kindness or practice Asubha Bhavana in purity. Because we are in the end of cessation, Anutpada Nirodha. In the Utpada Nirodha, we practice Sila and Samatha. In the Vipassana, we practice and experience Anuppada Nirodha, seeing the world as Animetta, Sunyata, Apanita. Our mind is not fixed any object, Animetta. And we see the world as an empty village, emptiness, sunyata, and we don't take anything as essence, apanihita. This is the result of this path. In another way, samma jnana, samma vimukti, right knowledge and right liberation. As the result of this path, we come to the equanimity, and we can see the beauty of our mind. With this beautiful mind, we work for the world to the maximum level with Dhamma. We help the world with the Dhamma, since the gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. Sabbadhanam Dhammadhanam jinati. The gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. Therefore, as monks, our highest duty is that delivering this message to the world with a compassionate heart. For that, I wish you all the best. By the power of the spirituality that you acquired here, by listening to Dhamma, by contemplating Dhamma, may our spiritual goals meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkam pantāca nirdukkhaṃ, bhayam pantāca nirbhayam, sokam pantāca nissokam, hontu sabbe pipanino. May the Triple Gem bless you.